Hello and merry holidays, I guess. And welcome to another episode
Yes,
of Parallel Thoughts, where we take two different ideas for a single deck and force them together with various instruments of tape and glue and
and
epoxy
glitter.
and glitter. Um, I'm one of your hosts, NekroZach, and as always, I'm joined by Benson.
Hey guys, you can find me on Instagram under some gnarly cards.
Oh crap! I didn't do my tagline. You can find me under Instagram and or Twitter. I'm gonna one up you on this one at NekroZach. And today we have a holiday deck for you.
We got
In
something else.
in the regards, it is red and green. Um, so we were trying to figure out what deck we wanted to do for this week, and Benson and I were texting each other, and it was just random that we both said it almost at the exact same time. Like we should do a Gruul
Within
deck.
milliseconds. Yeah.
Yeah, because red and green for the holiday seasons, whether, uh
Gruel-tide carols, if you will.
so that's what we did, and we both picked what color we wanted to do. I picked green, Benson picked red, and then we didn't tell each other what
Oh man.
what commander we picked until, I don't know, it was a good couple days later, like,
Yeah.
it's pretty close to the recording of this, so, um, I don't know what Benson's list looks like. Benson doesn't have any clue what my list looks like.
Nope.
As always, what we try to do to make these episodes more fun and more entertaining, we've already gotten our card draw removal and ramp out of the way. There might be things that we add to these sections depending on what our lists
Oh
look
yeah,
like
just you
individually,
wait.
but these are what are pre-designated. Yes, we agree with these spells. So I guess I'll go first on the commander that I picked. I'm going to butcher this name because I'm very bad at pronunciations. So, Ich-tekik, Salvage Splicer, 4 and a green for a legendary creature, human artificer, 1/1. When Ich-tekik Salvage Spicer enters the battlefield, create a 3/3 colors Gollum artifact creature token. And whenever an artifact is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you put a +1/+1 counter on Ich-tekik and a +1/+1 counter on each Gollum you control. And of course, they have partner. I've really wanted to build around this guy for, since Commander Legends was spoiled. It was one of the commanders I was super, super excited about. I love New Phyrexia, and this is just kind of harkening back like this is stuff going on. This is, a new creature or character from the plane. So as soon as I knew I had green, I was building this guy regardless. Benson, who do you got for us?
Jeska, Thrice Reborn, the mono red planeswalker that could also be as a commander with partner from Commander Legends. Now I can tell you that I did not have the same I guess, feeling that Zach did about wanting to build around his commander. I didn't want to build around her the first time she was reborn or the second, but here we are for the third, the thrice reborn. And let me give you a little rundown real quick here. Um, when it enters the battlefield, you put a loyalty counter on it for each time a commander has been cast from the command zone this game. So even if you just cast her once, that's you get your one loyalty there. But for zero, you can choose target creature until the end of turn. When that creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, it deals triple that damage instead. And then you could also minus her for any amount, and it'll do X damage to up to three targets.
All right,
Fancy.
very cool. Like I said, we told each other what commanders we were going to use, but we didn't go over our themes for what we were going to do. So I'll go ahead and
We're
reveal
getting
my theme. Um,
okay.
We're doing Gollum Tribal for my portion of the deck. I
Okay.
really wanted to do
All
it.
right.
We've gotten a ton of support recently, and there are a lot of like okay-ish creatures that I thought, you know, paired with getting bigger is just going to be better. And having red, I knew we'd have access to a lot of like interesting things. Whether I chose them or not is well, it'll be determined. But that's what we're doing on my portion of that. Benson, what do you got in mind?
All right, guys, we are doing Zach, I'm so sorry. Redhead tribal. Oh yeah.
What?
Oh yeah. Now, you
That
might be
sounds.
thinking you might be thinking, "What?" Like, okay, yeah, she's got red hair. What about the green guy? Pop that up there, Zach. I don't know if you know, but that right there, I'm gonna consider that a redhead because there's definitely a red light on that guy's head. So we're doing redhead tribal. Let's go.
I was I was really hoping that this week I would be the one that's like doing something goofy and that your portion of the deck would really make up for that.
Nope.
Good. This is gonna be such a good time.
Welcome to the train wreck, folks. Enjoy.
All
All
right.
right. So you said you wanted to start.
Yes. So, um, I've already added. I've already sneakily added two creatures to this deck that I don't know if Benson caught for our Gollum tribal. So, well, actually, it's a couple. It's three, I think. So I'm gonna point those guys out, and then
Sneaky. Okay.
yep, and then I'll add my first creature, first pick, however you want to say it. So the first one is Howling Gollum. It's a 3 cost artifact creature, Gollum, 2/3. Whenever
That's
it attacks or blocks, each player draws a card. So Jeska is pretty polarizing, I think, of a card, right? It's pretty powerful. For 0, getting to do triple damage is
oh
pretty
yeah.
nuts. So this is a
And
kind of
that art.
card, yeah, the very come at me, bro art.
Oh, I was still talking about the hair, but yes. Yes, you already come at me, bro. She's dual wielding. Looks like a
um,
badass.
So Howling Golem might be a good way to curry favor at the table, and it's still on theme for what I want to do. Eventually, this guy will get bigger, but also, maybe if we're swinging and letting the table draw cards, we're going to be less viewed less problematic. Um, Another creature that fits our theme and is also just what I put in almost every deck is Solemn Simulacrum. It's a golem, which is actually super
Oh, that
relevant for
makes
this time, right?
sense.
Yeah, it's
Now
ramp and card draw.
now I'm looking here, and I think you might be a little light on that ramp, but don't worry. I know
we,
what we
well,
can add.
we still got one more golem to talk about, and then my first include. So we have Meteor
Oh,
Column, which is just a
take it.
just good in general, right? I mean, he's 7, but still to be able to destroy any non-land permanent is it's good. It's a 3/3, but once again, with our commander on the battlefield and artifacts dying, will hopefully make that like
Is that the one that's a beast
90/90.
in Yuriko?
You said what?
Is that the one that's like an absolute beast in Euro Codex? I can't remember.
Uh,
What's the
no.
CMC on that one? No?
Oh, yeah, I guess it could be because it's 7.
Okay.
Um,
Alright.
so those are like sneaky includes because they like kind of they already work with what we want to do with
With what
being
you wanna do.
golems and yeah, with what I want to do, I guess I should say. But they also function really well without too much hassle. Howling Golem can potentially draw us a card every turn, and Solemn is just Solemn. So the first card I want to put in because I love this card already is Phyrexian
Yeah.
Triniform.
Oh, that's the new one. That's the new
Yeah,
friend, right? Yeah.
yep. 9 cost, 9/9, so on curve. And when it
We
dies,
got
you
green,
create.
we'll be fine.
You said what?
We're in green, we'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
We can get that one.
And when it dies, you create 3/3 colors Gollum artifact creature tokens, and then it encores for 12. So this alone will generate us a ton of golems, like a ton, and it's just a good card. I really like it. Um, so yeah, so that was one of the first includes I wanted to include. So what is your redhead tribal stuff you want to start spitting out
Well,
here?
first off, like I said, that ramp looks a little shy, so you can go ahead and you can type in Finehorn elves. It doesn't matter if you get the guys or the girl elves. They're rocking the same hair in both.
Okay. All right, we got elves.
Right? And then the next one on top of that is Croson Restorer. Now, I figured that you might need a little extra mana. This is where I was trying to help you out, okay? You needed a little extra mana for
Okay.
activation costs or whatnot. So I thought, hey, you know what? Red hair, it'll untap like up to 3 lands when we get that threshold. It'll be good.
And
It'll
we
work, I think.
do we
Maybe,
do want to be
hopefully.
throwing away things. So threshold shouldn't be that hard to get to. Did you have something else?
Yes. Now, we have to be specific with the art here, okay? I'm pretty sure. But also to help out with, pumping out a ton of mana. If we're gonna need 9 or 12, right, we'll need this, but mana reflection from Double Masters. We're getting specific here because
That should be the first
the
one
amount of
to yeah.
research yeah.
There it is.
I this was a long time doing this research because I wanted it to kind of be good for us, but they also
Right.
needed the red hair. You watching, you appreciate the effort I put into this. Anyway, what were you wanting to add there, Zach?
Ginger brute.
You hit me with something.
Um, this is super low on the curve. It's another card that is really interesting, right? So it's a food golem on theme. But what I think is great is the whole you can sacrifice it to gain 3 life. So this is going to trigger our commander, but also if it's just been sitting on the battlefield because it's pretty innocuous, it's 1/1 for one,
Mhm.
and other artifacts have died, and it's a golem, so it's going to keep growing. You can pay 1, and it can't be blocked except by creatures with haste.
Oh, okay.
That's very specific.
Very specific.
Um,
But you know what? We'll find a way. Why not? I don't know which
another
way we'll get there, my way or your way, but we'll find a way, Zach. It'll be okay.
uh, Another one I wanted to throw in. A lot of these are going to seem pretty like I don't think forced, but they're going to be pretty like ones that come to mind pretty quickly. I feel like if you're thinking of golems, just because they a lot have been printed recently. But Golden Guardian, excuse me, it has Defender. It's a 4/4 for 4. You can pay 2, and it fights another target creature you control. When Golden Guardian dies this turn, return it to the battlefield tapped under your control, transformed, and then it becomes a land. You can add 2 of any one color, and you can pay 4, tap it to create a 4/4 colors golem, whatever. But this is also still doing kind of what we want to be doing, being
I didn't even
able
know that
to.
card existed, so thank you for that too.
Yeah, sure. Um, It allows us to put down a blocker fairly early with defender, which is whatever. We have some. I'm sure you have some other ways, I should say, that we're going to be able to deal damage without necessarily having to attack. And
I hope
we want to be killing our things because our golems are going to get bigger as they die. So being able just to pay 2 to basically have this guy crash into someone else. Some of our golems are going to be small, not all of them are going to be big beaters. So being able just to clear the board is great, but also, if we have our Phyrexian Triniform or something else along those lines and we just want to, turn our golem over so we can start making more golems because we have a billion mana, this is a good mana sink for that too.
nice. I think that'll work.
I like it. Um, did you have something else that you wanted to throw in?
Well, getting into the mana reflection and whatnot, I'll continue that with Zendikar Resurgent. It's gonna kind of do the same thing I want to do here.
I like this one. I mean, the card draw aspect I think is what's really insane because it's going to fill 2 of our checklists here, ramp and card draw. I'm put it over in card draw.
Yes, sir. And then something to do with that mana.
Mhm.
Uh, Stolen Strategy from Battle Bond.
What was it? I'm sorry?
Stolen
Stolen?
Strategy. Yeah.
Ooh, that's actually really cool.
So that's at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of each opponent's library. Until end of turn, you may cast non-land cards from among those exiled cards, and you may spend any mana of any color to cast them. So if
Alright,
we're
so
gonna have all these redheads duplicating our mana, then now we have a redhead to cast all the opponent's spells. Perfect.
I'm gonna add something else into our something to do section with Gollum Artisan. It's a 5 cost Gollem for, and it's a 3/3. You can pay 2, target artifact creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn, or 2, target
Mhm.
artifact gains your choice of flying, trample, or haste until end of turn. So if we're making a billion mana, this is something to do with that mana. And it's a
Definitely
Gollum.
is, of course.
Um, so
Now
this
you
is
were
an
asking me about pump spells though, right? I have one.
okay, what is it?
It's called Rush of Blood, I believe from Avacyn Restored. And that is
Is
target creature gets plus X plus O until end of turn where X is its power.
You are not kidding about your redhead spells. This is ridiculous.
I delved so hard into like I was looking up like very vaguely specific words. Like I was just like going into Gatherer and typing in plus X plus O and hitting green and red, and then just scrolling and hoping to God that I would come across someone that did redhead that did redhead art.
Um,
Uh, yeah.
so
So, but that one's not a bad one.
yeah, Berserk is one that
It's
I was really excited about. There's another card I'll bring up later. I thought there was red in the art, but I was thinking of the old school art. But this is the one I have, so I'm putting it in here. Um,
not
yeah,
even
this
on
was
theme. How dare you?
it's on theme for me. You know,
Fine.
that's all that matters. it's
Yeah,
another it's another spell that can be
here at
useful.
Parallel Thoughts, we don't agree together, but we still brew together, and that's the
Exactly.
show.
That's it. All right, wrap it up. Brian, cut it. This is another spell that can be used proactively as, you can, if someone at the table is getting through to someone else and you just want that person to die, this is a spell to do it. But it also kills off our stuff so we can make our stuff bigger. It's a windfall of good stuff. Um,
The windfall of good stuff.
so we're dealing with a ton of mana. I also want this spell in here too. It itself is not a golem, but it does create golems. All the splicers create golems and then they make them better in some way. Maul Splicer is a 7 cost human artificer for 1/1. So your rate, very, very bad. But you do get 7 power because you get 2/3/3 golems, and all of your golems have trample.
Ooh, trample's good. I'll
Yes,
take
trample's
trample, especially with Jeska
yeah,
popping that
trample's
damage,
fine.
getting in.
Now, Benson, what is my favorite red card in all of Magic?
I think is that Fiery Emancipation?
It isn't, but it was going to lead to that. Yes, that's
Okay.
the for the if I can't even spell it right. Oh my god, is FEI? No, we're just gonna go Emancipation. Oh my god, I'm gonna get Brian to cut this section out. So my favorite red card in all of
You
Magic
won't
is
do it.
Brass
I
Chawner,
would too. Oh,
but
that one. To pair with, yes.
yes, this goes hand in hand. Um, since we're
Well,
gonna
I mean, technically, the goblin, red never mind, you go ahead. I'll allow it.
So, I knew after Benson told me that he had Jeska, I didn't think he would include this card, so I wanted to make sure that I would include this card, so we can triple the triple, so to speak. It just seems cool.
Okay.
I mean,
If you wanna stay on theme with that, you want me to tell you this little gem I found, well, doing way too much research into the art and not the cards, but
sing me
something.
the song of your people.
So, with Jeska,
Mhm,
okay, and this is I wanna kinda get cheeky.
mhm. Well, you picked
What's
Redhead
your guy
Tribal. I don't know if you get any
sure,
cheekier than that.
red cheeks, red cheeky. So what's the power and toughness of your guy, the green guy?
I think he's just a 1/1. Yeah, he's just a 1/1.
We're gonna kill someone with commander damage. Are you ready?
I'm all ears, bud.
Okay. So, there is a card called Repeated Reverberation, and let me read
Oh
that
my
out.
god. I
It's from
completely
M20.
forgot.
When you
Ah,
next cast an instant or sorcery spell, or activate a loyalty ability this turn, copy that spell or ability twice, and you may choose new targets for those copies. We're not gonna choose new targets. So
I
with
didn't think
Jeska,
so.
so let's say we have our buddy at 1/1,
Mhm.
right? Jeska
Mhm.
makes it a 3/3, and then since it's a replacement effect, that second trigger makes it a 9/9. Like for damage wise, I guess 9 damage, right? Not n and then and then that gets tripled to 27. So you're pumping in for 27 commander damage. And look at that art. Can you pull that art up?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
This is
like
good as I can get
like,
it.
I'm assuming the hair is red. There's a lot of red behind it. But it's a satyr, so I'm just gonna go ahead and assume. But yeah, and then if it's not commander damage, if we have one of our creatures with trample or whatnot, like that thing's just getting in. And if we have fiery emancipation, just for overkill, can you do the math there, Zach? Do you know what
No,
that would be for a
I'm not
1/1
going.
getting in with fiery emancipation,
Nope, not doing
Jessica,
it.
and
I went to
81 bucks. You can do 81 commander damage with that 1/1.
Gee, money. Yeah.
But that's just
Yep.
with 1/1. Think about the havoc that could be caused. Anyway, so that's I'm impressed with myself. You know, I'm tooting my own horn here because digging through all that artwork and finding that little ditty of a little, combo, oh my
So,
Lanta, I was so excited. I wanted to see your face, and that was perfect.
yeah, I like doing stupid stuff like that. So not as stupid, more subtle because I'm the, I guess, boring one of this group today. Um, I have Vital Splicer. I don't know if you know this card. It's also not a golem, but it is a human artificer, so almost on theme. When it ETBs, you get a 3/3 colors golem,
Too bad we're
and you
not
can
in blue or black for a conspiracy or a
right, but
right?
we can pay 1 to regenerate target golem we control. So something to do with all the extra mana we have,
Trees and stuff.
making golems.
Tricks. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
this one, we typically don't go over, our lands, but I feel like this one will be really cool because I want to use the artifact lands and we want to run a bunch of utility lands. But Awakened Amalgam, have you heard of this card before?
I haven't.
It's another 4 cost
Enlighten
artifact. It's a golem. It's a star.
me.
Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of differently named lands you can.
Oh,
So another golem
that's
that could potentially be big. Granted, it's just a body. It doesn't have any kind of evasion or anything extra, but it could just be big enough. And we have so many different things, ways to sneak in damage, what have you, that it could just be enough to kill someone.
okay. I dig that. Actually, I wanted to talk about one other planeswalker
Who
that
you
would
got?
actually be very helpful. Chandra, but the Acolyte of Flame from M20, the Chandra in her early teens, probably causing a ruckus. with all the fire boys at their
So what
fire
are
high
your
school.
so walk me through this. What was your process here?
So for the 3 mana costs that they have, for 0, you can put a loyalty counter on each red planeswalker you control. So
That's that's
her
pretty
and
good.
Jeska. Yeah. And then you can create 2 elemental tokens. They gain haste. That's just, like to get in again. If we can do 27 damage, we're doing it, right? Like if we want to catch them off
Yeah,
guard, be like,
yeah,
yeah. Because you know what? They'll be like, oh, what are they going to do? 3? Like, right? Oh, they'll do 3
right.
damage. And you drop that, and then they do the math and they cry a little bit. Um, and then, like, those are the only 2. I'm not going to -2 it. I'm just going to keep plucking at those zeros. But that was my mindset there. And then also, the next planeswalker I want to put in is Domri, City Smasher from Ravnica Allegiance. If you'll notice that little tuft Domri has.
Yep.
Yeah. So this
So I'm
one's good. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain haste till end of turn. And then it can also do 3 damage to any target for a little removal. And then if we do end up -8 for ultimate, you put 3 counters on each creature you control, and they gain trample until end of turn. So we're getting in, bud. It's
yeah, we're
happening.
we're going sideways. Um, so two big golems that I am excited about that I think you might enjoy. I've played one recently, and it actually won me a game, and that's
Was this on the Into the 99 Twitch stream Tuesdays at 7 EST?
yep. It was when we played with our sponsor, Edge Gaming, and no one removed my Platinum Imperion. um, an 8/8 for 8 that says your life total can't change. Just,
Hey,
just
that's
good.
that's fair. Yeah, good stuff.
Um, so the next one, I don't know
Okay,
if we'll
actually, sorry. Can we we're gonna okay, sidebar, right? We're gonna keep the camera rolling, of course, but sidebar. Can you type in wild onslaught? I I I tried to convince myself that that would be redhead. I don't know what's going on the top of that giant thing's head right there, but I was like, it's
I'm
red. It works, right?
I'm pretty sure that's a like a fungus, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's red on the top, right?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
and
it's
that's
red. Yeah,
probably where,
I'll give you
yeah,
that.
right? Yeah. Okay. Uh,
I-
like,
is this going in?
gonna go in because the kicker cost. If we have that stuff that's doubling our mana, sure. And then put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. If it was kicked, put 2 1/1 counters on each creature you control. So you're doubling up, right?
Yeah.
And your golems are becoming thick boys with this one. They're adding a couple extra rocks to their buds, right? Or a couple of pieces of metal to their
So
thighs there.
yes, and upon those thighs lies Mycosynth Gollum. It's an 11 drop, 4/5. I know, sounds terrible, but it has affinity for artifacts, and artifact creature spells you play have affinity for artifacts. S-
Ooh, that's good for you, eh?
So, yeah, like you look at all of our golems, if we keep doing what we're doing and we're playing all of our big spells that are going to double and triple damage with our golems out, this could potentially be we play, let's say we play a Fire Emancipation for 6 mana, but we happen to have like 7 or 8 artifacts on the field and go into like a Mycosynth Golem or something like that. Like that means
Something
that turn
juicy.
we could that means that turn we could very easily just one shot someone. And
We got a lot of sneaky ways to one shot someone here. It's fantastic. No one's gonna see this deck coming.
that's kind of what I'm hoping for. What is the name of that card?
And then we just get to yell Merry Christmas at them, right? Because
There we go.
festive. Doesn't it seem festive?
Yeah, this is
Doesn't
pretty
it?
festive. I don't know if you had this card in your section, but now I had it in mind, and I kind of glad because our minds were in the same spot. It's Rhythm of the Wild. This has
One.
Domri actually on it. It's an enchantment that says creatures you control can't be countered, and non-token creatures you control have riot.
Right.
So they're either coming in with +1/+1 counters, or they're getting haste.
So it was on my initial list, but then I thought I was getting it was going to be a little much. How just using Domri as an excuse to keep using those
Under
cards.
well, I mean, like, who are you gonna use? Like, so we have
But
Domri.
there is
We
another one. There is another one. It's kind of like a removal.
mhm.
Also gets dude, but there was a Thrash to Threat. It's a split card. Ravnica Allegiance as well. And I'd be doing it more for the Thrash, but that is a hybrid green red. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. So if we're beefing up these boys anyway, then it's a 2 mana kind of removal spell for a planeswalker or creature, and I thought that would be a okay.
Yeah, I would
I'll make
agree.
I'll make your golems put in a little work. Why not? Especially if we're gonna make them bigger. I mean,
So,
bigger was
I feel like I had something down here. I'm going through my little notepad of things that I wanted to do to make my columns. Oh, so more we can't have a Gollum deck in red without Bosch. Have you ever played with Bosch before?
uh, I had one brew where it was just gonna be him throwing little trinkets that cost one, and I had to like it was like dainty glasses or like a necklace or whatnot. So I just pictured Bosch throwing like things from his purse.
Well,
I never followed through with that brew, but yeah, you tell me, you tell me what you think he's gonna do.
I knew I was gonna be I knew I was gonna be using Fiery Emancipation, and I know a lot of our golems are very expensive, so this is another opportunity where we can just kill someone for 4 mana and potentially grow our team in the same turn. So, Bosch is an 8 cost legendary artifact creature golem, 6/7. It has trample for 3 and a red. You can sack an artifact. Bosch Iron Golem deals damage equal to the sacrifice artifact's creature's CMC to any target.
Decent, very decent.
Just uh, fun thing with Golem Artisan. Oh wait, no, never mind. That doesn't give him lifelink. I thought it gave him lifelink for some reason, but still, still good, still good.
Hey man,
Um,
you get onto that WOTC R&D department, you can make that happen. You can make its older brother.
yeah, it'd
It'd be
be
a long
Golem
track to get that thing lifelink, but you can do it, man. You got the time. We're still young.
Golem Master,
Just
I guess.
join, yeah, just become an intern, work your way up. No big deal. And get
God,
lifelink that thing.
dude, I'm too old to be an intern. I'd be the most like grumpiest intern. It wouldn't be any fun for. Anyways, so
I'm
precursor
telling.
golem. Precursor, precursor golem is a 5 drop artifact creature golem 3/3. When it ETBs, you create 2/3/3 golems, and whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell that targets only a single golem, that player copies that spell for each other golem that spell could cast. Each copy targets a different one. So, not entirely sure. We were talking about this. Well, I was talking about this earlier, but I don't know if it's specifically calling out the 2 golems that Precursor makes or other golem artifact creature tokens.
Find
If
out
that
later while we play test it.
if that's the case,
I'm
something
sure.
like
I'm sure one of the judges in our Discord community can tell us whether
yeah,
we're wrong.
I'll have to ask Lotus because could you imagine just berserking and I don't know. Seems good.
Silly
Seems
things.
good.
Now, not as good as Fire Emancipation. I don't want to lose, total focus on that. But there is a card. from one of the commander precons called Bitter Feud. And when that comes into play, you choose 2
Oh,
players.
bitter.
Or Bitter Feud, yeah.
Okay.
Did type in butter? That'd be great.
I, yeah,
Butter
I did.
Feud.
Butterfeud. Yeah, I'm fine with
Just
that.
peop
I like
just
that
people
better.
greased up battling. Butter Feud.
So, what does Butterfeud do?
If a source controlled by one of the chosen players, so sorry, you have to choose 2 players. If a source controlled by
Mhm.
one of those players deals damage to the other chosen player with a permanent they control, that source deals double the damage to that player permanent instead. So, you know what? I'll risk it for a biscuit. We'll choose us and someone else. And as a bonus to their luscious red hair, they also got red hands in that one.
I like that. I like that. That's very interesting. Oh, it's an enchantment too.
Mhm.
Ooh, that's
And then the
something
other
spicy.
enchantment, this is where I thought, "Hey, you know what? I think I know he's gonna wanna sacrifice artifacts. Let's
Yeah.
throw one bone." Okay, you ready to meet in the middle on this one?
Yes.
Curse of Opulence.
I thought so. So, are we gonna enchant ourselves?
Now the main focal point, the gentleman at the front, yes, he doesn't have red hair, but if you look to the, the near right, it's the woman who's she's got about 4 coins floating above her. That's
One,
how the
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Um, I only see a woman with 12 coins floating above her to the right.
correctly you know what?
Yeah.
I was talking about, like, almost covering her face, okay? It was very hard to tell if she was, hiding it.
1, 2. Yeah, only 2 are covering her, almost covering her face. Maybe 3 at the most.
I was tired, okay? I went through enchantment fast. I typed in creatures for looking for red hair, and then I typed in sorceries, and then it says
Sounds like a lot of excuses for not a lot of work.
but thank God I didn't even bother with lands because that would have just been a lost cause. So I did save myself some
No
time right
lost
there.
cause. All right, so we have some fairly expensive golems. So I want to throw this guy in. I got to be sure I'm spelling the name
How many
right.
cards back?
I don't know. I didn't really pay attention.
Also, I didn't appreciate your lack of support there. I was almost in tears about hours of looking at art. Anyway, yes, tell me about that. Tell me about that card.
Chronomaton. it's a one. It's a one cost golem. It's a 1/1. You can pay one and tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on it. Seems fine.
Seems fine.
Seems fine. We need some cheap golems. We just can't. You know,
No,
always play expensive ones.
speaking of cheap,
Um.
1 or 2 mana cost instance that, I wanna discuss here because one's kind of like a buff spell and a protection spell,
Hmm.
and the other one's just straight up protection. Sorry that heroic intervention didn't have any fancy art in there, but if you type in, Ranger's Guile, that one is target creature you control gains +1/+1 and hexproof until end of turn.
Yep. Oh my gosh, you and the red hair. You did a good job. I'll give you that.
Thank you, sir. Uh, and then next up, we have, Tangle Sap.
What did you
Tangle
call
Sap.
me?
You heard what I said. Tangle Sap. Um,
Tangle sap.
yep. It's literally a woman with red hair getting tangled in sap, and then there's like a creepy dude in
What
the
is
background.
this
Like,
card?
there's that dude in the background going like, "Yes, she's in the sap."
This is the
Uh,
most. I've never heard of this card. I was
the
playing
blood of
during
the
this
source
block.
is beholden to no one. Sir Vain.
This is going in
Anyway, yeah,
something to
value
do because
would be dealt to by creatures without trample. Very
look,
specific.
we I'm giving the people what they want. Clay statue. 4 costs. I believe it is a golem. I need to double check on the Oracle text, which has done me super well over the years. And by over the years, I mean like recently.
What's its name?
Clay statue.
Mhm.
It should be errated to Gollum. I didn't check. I just put it down
Mm,
on my notepad.
yeah, artifact creature golem.
Um, it's a
Got there.
simple. It's just a 4 cost guy. Says you can pay 2 and regenerate it. Did I not add it? Nope, didn't add it. Pay 2, regenerate it. I like regeneration. Regeneration's very good. It
And you
does a
can
lot of
pick up the super cheap one from Antiquities
yeah.
because that won't cost nothing.
Um,
Wish it was
so
printed in okay, yeah, I can get it cheaper. Isn't anything in Antiquities just, like, stupid priced? Or am I thinking of,
I think you're
something
just
else?
thinking the Urza lands, right?
Oh, maybe.
So what was the card called? Yep, this card. I was super excited that it got reprinted,
I
and
can
I
tell.
just didn't have a deck to put it in, and this deck seems perfect. Trash for treasures. So we sack an artifact when we cast
Oh,
a
yeah,
spell, return target artifact from our graveyard to the battlefield. So
okay with that. I
if
like that
someone
card.
wipes if
I think
someone
I put
wipes the
it in the
board, if you
drop one.
play what are we at? Yeah, this card I think needs to go in there. Oh, what's his the
What do you got for me, Zach?
there it is. I can't remember how to spell it right. Duretti, Scrap Savant. We already have it in there, but I just wanted to pull it up. Um, I put it in card draw, I believe. There he is. Yep. So discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. This goes hand in hand with the trash for treasures, sack an artifact, return artifact card from our graveyard to the battlefield. Just just good. Um, we also have access to this guy. Darksteel Colossus, another 11/11 for
Oh, yeah.
trample. It's indestructible. And granted, if this will be put into the graveyard from anywhere, you shuffle it back into its owner's library. So we can't get decked ever.
Sounds good.
So, Benson, how degenerate do you want to be?
Based on, numerous terrible life choices in my past and, the fact that I don't wanna correct myself for the future. Yeah, let's go, let's do it. What do you got for me?
Blightsteel Colossus.
Okay, yeah, just
It is a golem.
it is a golem.
It is. It is. I I have nothing more to say. Like it's on theme. You can't be mad. If you lose to it, it's your fault. So we've got 2 more spots. What do you want? What else do you want to throw in?
Oh, um, let's see here. Oh, yeah, could you throw in, uh, Torbran in there for me? Thane of the Redfell,
Oh wow,
the dwarf noble. If a
he
red
has
source you
red.
control with
He
damage.
has red hair.
Red source. Yeah,
That's
and red in
going
the
right.
title. I was gonna make it,
Uh,
make it
it's
work
going
no
right
matter
and
what.
pump up the jams.
Yeah, yeah. If a red source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage +2. But it says source, so like even if like that would even add to Fiery Emancipation just for kicks. It'd be like, hey, you
Mhm.
take 18. No, you take 20 actually because of Torbran. And then the other one, I'll argue with you probably a little bit here to fill up the last space is I forgot to mention this all the way back when we were talking about ramp, but it also kind of pumps up stuff. And like it would target something. I don't know if that helps, but I got 2 for 1 in this one, Zach. But we got Mina and Dead and Wildborn.
Eh, I don't like it.
You gotta play additional land. We're gonna need those for all your things that cost 9 plus, which our curve is probably disgusting. And you can return a land and target creature gains trample.
Meh.
I think it helps you. I think it helps me. But what do you got? What do you got? Fine.
So
My ears are
I
ringing.
have we would have to make a cut regardless, but I have two that I think could fit in here.
Well, we're cutting one of yours then. I ain't budging.
I'll probably cut this one here for that. Hammer of Perforos. So we don't have a lot to give our creatures haste. This does give our creatures haste, and then we can pay two and a red and sack a land, which I plan on running artifact lands, so it can work with Ich-tekik, but it'll give us 3/3 colors Gollum enchantment artifact. So it does triple duty, really.
Yeah. Okay. You had me right there by saying triple duty.
And the other one, because I got too excited and we were just adding a ton of things, Gollum Foundry. It's a cheap, easy way to generate golems pretty, you know, quickly. It's three costs. You can cast it, and whenever you cast it, an artifact spell with it on the battlefield, you put a charge counter on it. You can remove three counters and put a 3/3 colors golem into play.
That ain't
There
bad.
was no, I had some synergy with it with another. I believe there was a smaller golem that made let you add charge counters to things, but the problem that I found was that there just wasn't a lot of things to deal with charge counters.
True. The biggest issue I think I had with my half of the deck was how many different versions of Chandra, the planeswalker, exist and how easy it would have been to
Right.
every just like, "Oh, fire for hair," where like, that counts, and just put every single Chandra ever made into the deck and call it a day. Uh, but I didn't wanna let anybody down here because I came up with that idea. I think I told Dan, also a member of Into the 99 on the Discord, and he just started laughing. Uh,
I'm I'm oddly impressed that I actually like your theme.
there's a good chunk of cards there. Like, I tried to make this work for the direction I wanted to go, and
Uh,
I think I did alright with it.
I honestly don't think like our
Like, it
CMC is
had
as bad as
some
I thought it was going to be. It's 4.10, which is much higher than what I normally run, but with being in green, and we can make concessions in certain spots to get a little bit more consistent. But looking at our ramp, there's 15 things of ramp here. Most of it's going to fetch us lands. We have some untapping things. I don't know why Duretti's over here. I think he was supposed to be over here in card draw
there
and
you go.
Zendikar either. But we have a ton of different ways to ramp. So I feel like even though our mana curve is fairly large,
Oh,
it's really not that bad.
did you get Mind Stone in there? I can't see.
What was it?
Mind Stone? Isn't that the one that it's a rock, but you can sacrifice it to draw land?
You can sacrifice it to draw a card.
Yeah, draw a card. Just sorry, draw land. Draw a card. Yeah.
uh no, because what I wanted to do for my section, so like for the ramp, I have Ashnod's altar because we want to sacrifice things. I assumed with as many golems that we could potentially make, that's going to trigger our commander and get us mana. Same thing for KCI, being able, someone goes to wipe the board or what have you, you're able to just, you know, ditch out
With
your stuff.
KCI, guys, if you wanna see your commander trigger and your friend trigger at the same time, that's when you run and you do a combo with it.
I don't think there are any combos. Not that I'm aware of. I don't think there's anything that outside of just like value in general. Some proliferation stuff could be pretty good in here too, depending on uh, how heavy you want to kind of lean into that.
Oh, well, I mean, like, my you can lean into it however you want. I barely scraped a deck together today, guys. Uh,
I I honestly don't think this looks too bad.
with my choices, like, I'm happy that I found those cards, and I tried my best to make it work here. Now will the deck, work well as a whole? It might,
I don't think it like
looking at this list. Like, we're like, you're crossing over a couple different lines here. It looks like depending on your opening hand, you might have to take one route or another.
but I think ultimately like it's still doing what we want to do. It's still kind of doing the Gruul thing, right? Where it's let's do damage, let's go sideways, but the surprise factors of just like out of nowhere you can just one shot someone.
I'm
Like
like, why are you swinging with your commander? Whatever, I'll take the one. Right? Like,
it's-
and then
I'm
27, man. I'm so
I'm swinging
excited.
through with Ginger Brute. Well, that was your undoing. Um,
Oh,
and I just think
I
like on its
it's some
it's not a commander pairing that I've seen people do. Like I just haven't. So I think it could be really interesting. I think people would be more inclined to see what your deck is about before just, kicking you out of the table.
yeah, they would keep their removal for someone else until it was too late because they would just take one look at this thing and go like, "What?"
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
like, people here, they know what's coming, but, like, if I take this to an LGS, game on. And then I
any
can
deck
even be like, "Hey, look at this, guys, redhead tribal. Look, hey, he'll tap has a red eye, like, murder, murder, murder." And then I hit him for 81 damage with Fire Emancipation and a 1/1.
I
Uh,
love Fire Emancipation. It's like always a magical Christmas card and I love it.
well, speaking of that, I'm happy with the gift here, the deck that we built together. I'm happy with that gift to ourselves. How you feel about it?
I'm Yeah, this is what it needed to be.
Yeah. Well, we can wrap it up
And
and get
put it under their tree.
we can I was gonna say we could wrap it up and then gift it to someone on the battlefield. Be like,
That seems better probably, right?
I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna have that thing sitting under the tree when I know what kinda havoc it can cause. I'll get a lump of coal next year. I'll do it.
Okay, I'll have a call next year.
I'll
All
open
right.
up a
Well,
pool and then I'll get a lump of coal next year. I think it'll be worth it.
I think it'll be worth it for sure. Do you have anything else you want to add, Benson? Because I think you're right. I think it concludes this episode. If you're good,
I'm good, man. This is something else. If you guys build this at like build this for yourself, let us know, man. Even if I don't care if you proxy not like all 100 cards and you give it a go, or if you play test this online. I just really want to know if this deck works because I really want it to work.
I think it works. I did. It just has to. Like, just has to. But so this concludes another episode of Parallel Thoughts, where we're brewing garbage.
Very different, very different
We're brewing
decks.
with we're brewing with the best. I've been NekroZach, and that's been Benson. Um, Thanks. Bye.
Oh my Lanta.